let's say I have a whole bunch of data and I really need to narrow it down. So here I've got 5,268 different records. And I need to find the records that are applicable to what I want to do. But I don't want to read through 5,268 different records. Even if I was to read through all that, 5,268, and I did like one a second, so I could do 60 in a minute, right? That would take me 87 minutes. That's a long time. And that's one a second. Realistically, it's probably going to be like 4 seconds each, so 15 a minute. It's going to take me 351 minutes or like almost 6 hours to read through all those records. And I'll be brain dead and I'll certainly miss stuff. So there's got to be a better way to filter our data. And in fact, there is. There's actually a whole bunch of different tools that we could use in Excel to sort and filter our data. And these all fall into the category of advanced filtering. But before I show you how to actually use the advanced filter button right here, there's some other things you should know about, some other tools which are really useful. So this example that I'm going over is using real data from a real life situation of marketing this course. And to market this course, I went to Google AdWords, and at Google AdWords they have something called the keyword tool. And I searched for these phrases because I wanted to find what are people searching for when they search for learning about Excel. So I searched for Excel Learn, Excel How To, Excel Course, Excel Class, Excel Tutorial. I searched for all those and Excel Template. And I put those up here also in this file right there that I searched for those with the Excel word. And then for the keywords that got pulled out in my data here, I said, oh, I got that keyword, Korea, when searching for training. I got this keyword when searching for tutorial. Just kind of interesting. And when I search for these at Google AdWords, if I search for them all at once, I get I get 643 results plus 6 results right there. If I search for them individually, I get different results, which is interesting in and of itself. So I click search, and here I got 777 results. And so I could either do that under ad group ideas or keyword ideas, and then I choose download, and I download all those search results. Sure, I'll download it as an Excel spreadsheet. And when I download all that, I get a whole bunch of files. And so those files were right here in my downloads. And so when I open those files up, I get just the search terms for whatever phrase I've been searching for. I then highlighted all those search terms. So I held down Control Shift on my keyboard and pressed the down arrow, and that highlighted everything. And I pressed Control C on my keyboard, and that copied it. And then Alt Tab over to the spreadsheet I'm working on. And if I had a blank sheet, if I was just starting out here, it would look like that. And I press Control V on my keyboard, and I paste in those results. When I did that, I copied actually not just this one column, so I'm going to hit Escape to deselect all of that, but I would copy all of this. So hold down Control Shift down arrow, and then while continuing to hold down Control and Shift, press the right arrow, and that selected all my data. And at that point, I'd press Control C and then go Alt Tab, come over here, and I would paste my data in on the spreadsheet. So I did that for each of these files right here, which I downloaded from Google AdWords when searching for the different terms. So there would be this tutorial one. I went from 777 different words to 800, right? So now I've got all these different results copied and pasted into my Excel spreadsheet here. And I'm just going to delete this sheet that I don't need. There we go. And by the way, I am using this spreadsheet file with that name and also with this added on to the end of the name used in the video. So you could download this file, and you could also download the file before I started messing with it in this video, so you can look at it both ways and work with it both ways. All right, so here I have all my data, 5,268 records, and I need to start thinning that out. So the first thing I might want to do is just to highlight this entire spreadsheet, highlight that whole spreadsheet, and then I want to sort that data, get that data into sorted order. I'm going to sort by column A, except my data has headers. I'm going to check that. I'm going to sort by the keyword column right there, and I'm going to choose A to Z and click OK. So it just reordered everything. And notice that I did include this, I already pointed that out, but I included that just so I could kind of, if I needed to remember where the keyword came from, which search, I'd have access to that. So that information is still there. So now that that's all been sorted, I could see that I have some duplicates there. There's a duplicate. There's a duplicate. There are 3 duplicates right there. So I could select all this data again. I could choose Remove Duplicates. Before I do that, let's just look. I've got 5,268 records. So I'm going to select all of that. I'm going to choose Remove Duplicates. And what column do I want Excel to look at for removing the duplicates? I'm going to unselect all the columns and say, just look at column A. And I'm also going to say my data has headers. There we go. And click OK, and Excel instantly, amazingly, removes 1,526 duplicate values, removed them. So now we went from 5,200 something records down to 3,741. So we're already making great headway into thinning down this pile, this haystack, through which we're trying to find a few gems, a few needles, diamonds in the rough, whatever the phrase is. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I only want to include phrases where Excel is in this, string of text. So I can insert this function right here. And if I go to formulas, and this is a nifty little tool right here, if you have a cell with a formula in it, so there's a formula in that cell. If I go into formula view, you can see the formula right there. If I have a cell with a formula in it, I could just select that cell, make it the active cell, and then if I choose insert function, it brings up the dialog box for whatever function is in that cell. So it brings up that dialog box. So here's this dialog box. And basically it's going to look for the text XCEL within cell A2. And what it will return is the place, which spot in this string of text does it find that text. And if it doesn't find that text, it returns an error. So to create that function, I would go to text. I'm just going to recreate it right here to the right so you can see how to do it. I'm going to go to find, and I want to find XCEL, and I'm not going to search for the E in front of that. I had a reason. I saw one piece of data actually where somebody just typed in XCEL, and so I want to be able to find that also. And I'm going to look in that spot right there. So it's going to search for Excel in that spot right there. And there we go. So that's how I do it. And then I copy that down, Control C, and then come over one, hold down my Control key, press the down arrow to go to the end of my data, release the Control key, press the right arrow to come back over to this cell, hold down the Control key and the Shift key. So I'm going to highlight it, select it and highlight it, go all the way to the top, and then I can press Control V, and that's how I got that formula to fill in over that entire range. So there we go, right? I've got the same results as this. So you saw how I created it. I'm going to delete this now that we no longer need that. But anyhow, I have here now a column which tells me, hey, is the word Excel in this string of text? So in all of these right here, the word Excel appears, but right here, the word Excel does not appear. So if I wanted to get rid of every string of text where Excel is not in that string of text, I can now select all of my data. I could go up to data and I could choose sort. My column has headers, so I make sure that's checked. And I'm going to sort by that column right there, Excel. Smallest to largest? No, I think I will go the opposite order. I'm going to go back to sort. I'm going to go to largest to smallest. And there we have all these records where these strings of text where Excel doesn't appear. And this is an interesting thing about Google AdWords. And you can see here when I was searching for things about, Excel, I got stuff about cheapest train tickets and cheap coach tickets and C online course and buy rail and budgeting worksheets, which is more closer, right? But there's a whole heck of a lot of stuff in here that has absolutely nothing to do with Microsoft Excel. Docklands, ESL classes, English as a second language, right? So good thing I'm sorting my data here. And it's actually quite a bit of data. I'm going to stop scrolling and start using my page down key just so we can see how far it goes. A long ways. All right, so I feel great because we're getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. There's Russian, everything. Let's get rid of that. Highlight it all and right click it and then choose delete. So there I got rid of the records. And now we are down to 2,614 records. We're making good headway finding our little diamonds in the rough, these needles in the haystack. So that's using, you know, some really basic sorting and filtering and using the find function to kind of narrow things down and using remove duplicates. And this is all part of advanced filtering. But now there's actually this thing called the advanced filter right here. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the advanced filter to continue refining our results and to get them down to just the phrases we want, which is going to be awesome because then when we get the phrases we want, just the right phrases, which, you know, still have global monthly searches that are occurring, but, you know, aren't going to cost us very much to market to them. You know, hopefully if we get those right phrases into the Google AdWords system, our Excel skills are going to help us make some money here and drive customers to whatever it is we're trying to sell. There you go.